Raj Shikshan Sanstha's online learning program welcomes you all. Today we are going to learn chapter number 1.4. It is a poem by William Shakespeare. The name of the poem is All the World is a Stage. We will see about the poet. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's prominent dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. Bard means word for poet and Avon is a birthplace of Shakespeare. This poem is taken from his play As You Like It. Here he compares the world to a stage where the drama of human life is enacted. Now we will read the poem. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merrily players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being seven ages. At first the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, then the weaning schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school, and then the lover, sighing like a furnace, with a woeful ballad, made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange odds and bearded like a pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good capon line, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful horse, well saved, a world too wide, for his trunk sank and his big manly voice, turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange and eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. If you have seen, there is no rhyme scheme in this poem. Such poems are called free verse. Now we will see the description stanza wise. The first stage is the all world stage, and all the men and women merrily players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being seven ages. At first the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. In the poem, 7 stages of man are compared according to the behavior of man. Shakespeare compares the entire world to a theatrical stage, where all the human beings perform their allotted role given by the god. Every individual has to go through 7 stages of life. Entrances is birth, while exit refers to death of a man in the poem. In the first stage of his life, man appears as a child in the world. He is a helpless creature. He cries in the arms of his nurse for one reason or other. He cries and vomits. Figures of speech used in this stanza are and all the men and women merrily players. Here metaphor is present as the world compared to stage and men and women compared to players. Mewling and puking in the nurse's arm. Here onomatopoeia is present. Mewling and puking. This denotes sound. Third figure of speech. They have their exits and their entrances. Here antithesis is present. The word exit and entrances have opposite meaning. Stage 2. The weaning schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. In the second phase of his life, man appears as a child in the world. He goes to school with a bag hanging from his shoulders. He goes to the school creeping like a snail. He marches to the school unwillingly. Figures of speech used in this stanza: creeping like a snail. Simile is present here as the pace of the schoolboy is directly compared to that of a snail. In third stanza, and then the lover, shining like a furnace, with a woeful ballad, made to his mistress' eyebrows. According to the poet, the third stage of the life of a man plays the part of a lover. He grows into a young man full of desires, ambitions, and dreams. He becomes a romantic young man. He falls in love and sighs like a furnace. He begins to write sad poems to his beloved. He cannot control his sad feelings. Figures of speech present in this stanza are shining like a furnace. Simile is present here. The shining of a lover is compared to the blast of fire in furnace for a poetic effect. Second, with a woeful ballad, alliteration is present here as W sound is repeated. The next stanza, then a soldier full of strong oaths and beard like a pard, jealous in honor, sudden and in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. In the fourth stage of his life, man becomes a soldier who has learned queer words. At this stage, he tries to give himself a formidable look. With a beard like a leopard, he is emotional and jealous. He quarrels with others for his honor and grace. He is willing to put his life in danger to gain temporary reputation. Figures of speech present in this stanza. First, beard like a pard. Simile is present here. The soldier is directly compared to a leopard for his fierceness. Second, seeking the bubble reputation. Metaphor is present here as reputation is indirectly compared to a bubble which is short-lived. Next stanza. And then the justice in fair round belly with good capon line, with eye severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his parts. In the fifth stage of his life, according to the poet, he became a judge. He became mature and experienced in his thoughts. The heat of youth has completely cooled down, and he becomes very realistic. He wishes to grab wealth by foul or fair means. He begins to accept bribe and thus adds much to his material comforts. He becomes ace-loving and therefore becomes fat. His belly becomes round, his eyes become severe, and he grows the beard of formal cut. Figures of speech present in this stanza are with eyes severe and beard of formal cut. Inversion is present here. The words are rearranged to enhance the effect. The next stage, in the sixth age, shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful horse, which saved a world too wide for his shrunk sank, and his big manly voice. Turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. According to the poet, in the sixth stage of his life, man grows old. He looks quite ridiculous in his movements. He wears glasses because his eyesight is weak. His shoes becomes wide for his feet. His once well-fitted plants are now loose because his legs have shrunk and become lean. His speech appears as if he is whistling. His voice suffers a change. It becomes a shrill, childlike voice. Figures of speech present in this stanza are for his shrunk sank, alliteration is present as S sound is repeated, and whistles in his sound, onomatopoeia is present as the word whistles denotes sound. The last sense of all that ends the stage eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. According to the poet, however, in the seventh or last stanza stage, the man turns into a child once again. He seems to forget everything. He becomes toothless, his eyesight is weakened, and he is deprived of taste. He needs help with everything he does, just like he did as an infant. Thus, in this poem, Shakespeare describes the 7 stages of man's life with touch of satire. In each stage, man imagines himself great and important, but there is something ridiculous in his behavior all through his life. Figures of speech present in the 7th stanza are: is second childishness, metaphor is present, old age is directly compared to second childhood, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Here two figures of speech are present, repetition, the word sans is repeated, and second is climax, as the ideas have been arranged in an increasing order of importance. Thank you. I hope you all understand the poem.